Hello, everybody. Welcome to Avengers Infinity War weekend.
Spoilers.
It's the Three Geeks podcast.
Spoilers.
We are going to review this.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Spoilers. Spoilers. Spoilers.
I'm speaking out of the way as quickly as possible.
Spoilers. Spoilers. Spoilers.
You cannot be mad if you watch this video from here on out. You know, if you haven't seen the movie, go see the movie. What's wrong with you?
Like, if you're one of the people watching this and you're like, man, I really want Dan's opinion of this movie, you can find that out Sunday night at 7 o'clock. Dan will be there with Mike, and we can kind of find out why Mike didn't like the certain things he didn't like. But we are going to get into...
Mike's a hater. He's burnt out on superhero movies. Like, he's turned into a hater.
He's that. We're not jaded yet, at least.
Oh, I'm still a fanboy, man. I'm loving this. This movie was awesome. Oh.
I was
good podcasting.
I'm not a huge fan of Guardians 2, which a lot of people liked, and I wasn't a huge fan of Thor 3, which everybody liked. But Black Panther brought me back up. So and then I went into this movie, and I told Max when I was going into it, I was like, no matter what happens, I have to see this movie twice, because admittedly, I am going to geek out when I see Doctor Strange share a scene with Spider-Man. I didn't know that was actually going to happen. Oh, I guess I did, because they interact in the previews. But, you know, there's all these interactions that you're kind of curious to see, and ones that I didn't even know that I wanted to see, and then I saw it, and I'm like, this is beautiful. All the stuff with Thor, Groot, and Rocket, I loved. And it was good.
We'll get into the surprise characters a little later. But yeah, it's just, you know, I had all the good humor. It was just enough. All the lines, you know, it was like everyone was just a little bit punchy, you know, like I dug that. I mean, solid flick just through and through. I mean, it's still, as far as like movies go, I really only give it like a 7.5 or an 8. But
that's fair.
Yeah, but it's like, it's still really, really fun. And it's definitely one of those movies you should see in the theater just because of the spectacle of it. Yeah, no, I'm really down. I was excited for this movie going in, and they did not disappoint.
As somebody who has liked all of the Marvel movies except for Iron Man 2 was really my only low point in the series. I like the PTSD element of Iron Man 3, and I know a lot of people have issues with that film as well, but Marvel really has done something special. And I know people are tired of hearing how great Marvel is, but when you go and you see, I mean, the landing isn't completely done yet, but this is the start of them, you know, wrapping up this 10-year gauntlet of movies. I mean, it's been crazy, and so far, man, they're sticking that landing. I loved this movie.
Yeah, it's this movie to me is like the Empire Strikes Back of Marvel movies. Yeah, I just I dug it. I mean, it's dark, but it's also got the humor going, and yeah, I mean, you know, Mike was saying, you know, he was hoping that it would just be Marvel's flop, and you know, we could finally be like, okay, Marvel made, you know, like a seriously bad movie, but nah, there's no way that happens. Like this movie, it was just, and then yeah, I mean, I was surprised. Like I didn't think that was gonna happen, but I mean, they just brought in all kinds of stuff. Like, fucking, all right. I mean, you want to just start talking about it? Or?
Start talking about it, but like, first, before we get into the details, I just want to say tonally, like Max said, there's a lot of humor in this movie, but it's not overwhelming the same way that Thor 3 and Guardians 2 was.
Yeah.
There's not that much.
Or Guardians and Guardians 2.
But people like my wife, she's like, man, I'm glad that they had that in there, because this would have been a depressing film had they not been able to. And plus, it would have felt different. I mean, honestly, and I guess James Gunn came in and wrote for the Guardians, so it feels like you're watching the Guardians from their films. And I like the Guardians interactions a lot, like I did in their first movie in this. Yeah,
and I thought that the Guardians are going to be the weakest part, because like they were the most like jokey comic movies. So it's like, it's going to be kind of hard when, you know, like in the Avengers, it's a little more dramatic, a little more, you know, like everyone's all pissed off and mad at each other all the time. So, you know, like it was going to be weird, kind of, I thought there was going to be an odd dynamic, but no, James Gunn doing the writing, and they pulled it off. And yeah, everybody, like, I mean, there's 30 characters in here, but, and that does get a little.
62, actually.
But it gets a little, you know, it can be a little overwhelming. And if you haven't seen, like, you need to see Thor 3, Civil War, and Age of Ultron at least before you watch this movie. I feel like if you want to just be okay, like in your knowledge of what's going on, because they get going from the
this movie
rip.
Takes place 2 seconds after the Thor post-credit scene.
Yeah, and so it's just, you know, balls to the wall from the get-go, and so if you're not like familiar, I feel like you will be lost.
So watching this movie, and we'll start with the beginning, Loki. When Loki started to like talk to Thanos, I really thought he was going to betray Thor again.
Well, I mean, like
I thought they were going to do it.
This is one of the weaker points. I thought I was like, Loki wouldn't just try to like what got him killed. You know, he walks to Thanos, he's doing his smooth talking, and he tries to kill him like right away. And I'm like, well, Loki can't, you know, doesn't know how strong this dude. I mean, like the whole ship just got taken over, so he knows like this guy ain't nothing to be fucked with. But I feel like he would have played the game a little bit longer to try to like steal the gauntlet from him, you know, because like why would you, you know, because how does he doesn't know how to control it, he doesn't know if he can, he doesn't know this and this and that. And I don't feel like the god of mischief would get into the mischief that he got into. You know, it's like this is not smart. It wasn't a smart play, and obviously, I mean, he dies like in the first 5 minutes. Of the movie,
Ragnarok. They end Ragnarok kind of. You don't really know if Loki is completely on Thor's side because he's got the Tesseract.
Never.
But in this movie, I mean, he really does try to save his brother.
I mean, I feel like it was self-motivated. It wasn't really trying to save Thor. It was. I mean, I guess he does save Thor. He actually does save Thor. But like. I feel like they played Loki just a little bit off because, you know, he's the god of mischief, like, and he knows the best ways to work mischief. So like, I feel like that was a little, and then why would he announce himself as the god of mischief? Like, you don't want to tell people that because then they think you're up to something.
We got a Hulk, and then you see Hulk come out and start beating up Thanos, and then Thanos starts fighting the Hulk.
Fucking Hulk v Thanos was the quickest fight that I thought was going to go the other way. Hulk gets his ass kicked by Thanos, and it was fucking awesome.
And then he stays hidden inside Banner.
Oh, dude, yeah, the Hulk has got PTSD for the rest of the movie.
He's too afraid to come out.
Oh my goodness, it was great, and that whole dynamic with Mark Ruffalo has officially taken over as the Incredible Hulk for me. This did it. His Bruce Banner, he adds a little bit of comedy. He's kind of like the bumbling scientist guy, but. No, he just killed it in this movie, and he's always trying to get the Hulk to come out, and I like that he can just summon the Hulk. You know, like and like you see him like start to turn green up to his neck, and then like the Hulk fights his way back down. So you know, it's really cool what they did there.
Like, even the Hulk is afraid of Thanos.
Yeah, with good reason. You know, with good reason. Thanos is a badass. Let's talk about Thanos a little bit. I thought this, you know, like it was. In the stingers and the little teaser shots before you could seem kind of hokey, and then like in what was it? Was that Guardians, the first one? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he could be a little hokey, and this one they got his tone just right. I dig him as a villain. I really do. I like Thanos a lot.
This was Thanos' movie.
Yeah, it was more about Thanos than it was about the Avengers or the Guardians or anything like that.
The Avengers were side characters to Thanos' story, really.
Yeah, and it was awesome.
And you get Thanos' motivation, which makes him on the same level as a Killmonger, where you kind of understand where he's coming from.
Oh, and what I love is that they, in the comic books, I was afraid because the source material for this is not very good. Like, in the comic books, Thanos is in love with Death, who's an actual like person. And so that's why he wants to kill half the universe to as a tribute to Death, and he's trying to get her to love him, and it's really dumb.
No, they gave him better motivations for sure. Yes. Essentially, what he wants is for the rest of the world to not have to suffer the way universe the way that his planet suffered, which they were overpopulated and couldn't get enough food to everybody. So his theory is going out, wiping out half the universe will. Allow more supplies.
Thanos sees himself a gardener, if you would. And you got to pull weeds. You got to, you can't let the stuff grow to here and there because otherwise it'll take over. And then that's his whole argument is like, hey, man, like now the people who are left after I kill half the people will have more. So, so no, it was good. I thought that, it's an odd line of thought, but it works.
I like how all the smartasses were teamed up with each other. We had Doctor Strange, Tony Stark, Star-Lord.
Yes.
Working together Drax. With Spider-Man. Have you seen that Spider-Man really old movie?
Yeah. Yeah. Goodness sake. Aliens?
I love Spider-Man.
Every time Spider-Man mentions a movie, I want to kind of punch him in the face.
He's a kid. He's supposed to be that kid.
I know he's that kid, but
even Peter Parker.
Because you have to describe every movie as really old, like, especially to older people. Like if you're with kids your age, you're like, you remember that old movie? Yeah, that's one thing. But like older people. Those are old movies to those people. And every movie he describes is really old. So I mean, he's obviously doing that on purpose.
The Iron Spider.
Now
I
most
geeked out
people
when I saw that.
Most people do not like the Iron Spider, and this outfit doesn't look like the one in the comic books because the one in the comics was red. We had Iron Man colors, but so this one gave Spider-Man colors with the Iron Spider, which is my favorite fucking Spider-Man outfit because it's the only one that makes sense. I was like, I don't know why Spider-Man doesn't have 8 legs, but so you know, and of course, obviously Doc Octopus kind of you'd be a little bit copying off of him, but the Iron Spider worked. I liked. My favorite thing about that was when he had to catch Mantis. He'd gotten punched like real hard or whatever, and he had to catch Mantis, and the legs came out, and the way when he rolled, they like protected him. I was like, holy shit, that was just fucking awesome. Like it was just the physics were awesome. The effects in this movie were so good. Mm-hmm. I thought the CG. I mean, because with Black Panther, I felt like a little bit of the CG was not that great, but I feel like they were just kind of taking some money from all the other movies to make this one because yeah, like this is just so good looking pretty much the entire time. I watched it in 3D, which I'm not really a fan of.
I want to see it in 3D.
I don't. I'd rather see it in regular.
I'm glad I saw it in regular first.
Yeah.
The banter in this movie was really good too.
Yes.
Like so Spider-Man gets trapped with Doctor Strange going up in the spaceship, and Iron Man comes after him, and Peter Parker is obviously human, can't breathe in space. He's still in his normal suit. You know, Stark throws him the other suit, and then he ends up on the spaceship later, and Stark's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "Well, technically, it's your fault. You made the
suit very intuitive, and you knew I wanted to stay, so I stayed."
But yeah, the stuff with Strange, and it was cool seeing two Sherlock Holmeses argue with each other.
Oh man, it would have been good for like an Elementary, my dear Watson line or something, yeah, some stupid thing. But I mean, they would have been too dumb. But like, I would have died laughing.
And the Thor Rocket Bunny thing never got old.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, I laughed every time.
Thor, Rocket, and Groot is just they need to have their own movie together. And you can throw Peter Dinklage in there too. Yeah, Peter Dinklage is in this movie as a giant. It's great. Yeah, that was the one big surprise. And then Red Skull shows up at the end. And
was it Hugo Weaving?
Yeah, I believe it was.
Okay.
I mean, you can't really tell, but
because I know he hated doing the first Captain America, so it was cool if he came back.
Yeah, I mean, I think he would have been down for a Russo brothers Captain America if they had made the first one. It probably would have been wholly different. Oh man, I wish they would have got those guys for the first Captain America movie. That would have been like Saving Private Ryan, the Captain America movie.
So funny when they first announced the Russos, people were like, the guys from Arrested Development are gonna do a Captain America movie, and then it comes out and you're like, yeah, the guys from Arrested Development just did it. And Tobias Funke is in this movie. Look for him. If you're watching this and haven't seen the movie, you should really have gone to see the movie before you watch this.
We said that at the beginning.
But in the collector's room, you can see Tobias painted blue in the background.
Yeah, that would be something worth collecting.
Yeah, because they had the stair car in Civil War. I wonder if they have an Arrested Development thing. And
where was the stair? Oh, was that like
at the airport scene?
Oh, okay.
You can see it in the background. It says Bluth.
Oh, awesome. Good stuff. Yeah, the Red Skull I thought was freaking just because he was an afterthought. Like no one ever. I was always wondering when the Red Skull was going to come back, and I like that they have him in this form. I'm wondering if they're going to bring him back again, like how he gets back to Earth and all that stuff. It's going to be really good. What else? A
lot of stuff that was set up in Ultron pays off really well in this movie, which is something that other studios can't seem to get right. But like I said earlier when we first started this review, is Marvel has done something really special. You know, they made their first 6 films, built up the trust with the audience, then they started getting a little bit more ambitious. They set up plot stuff in Ultron that pays off in this, like the whole scene with Stark being by himself. You see that play out, and it's very emotional. Chris Pratt and Tom Holland really surprised me in this movie. They have their jokingness, but when Spider-Man's about to disappear, that few moments he has with Stark are like really emotional. Yeah, even though you know Spider-Man 2 is coming eventually, you forget about that for this movie.
Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Yeah, you forget about that for this movie, and you're really into it.
Spider-Man dies.
And Star-Lord, when he finds out Gamora died, even though technically everything that happens past that point is all Star-Lord's fault.
100% his fault.
But the emotion that Chris Pratt conveys is actually really
good.
well done.
I was really, really happy with it. I thought, again, freaking having Star-Lord, Doctor Strange, and Iron Man just discussing anything together is wonderful. But yeah, they all, because I knew Zoe Saldana could act, but she has to pull a wide range in this one too. And everyone stepped up for this movie. Lots of people die, lots of the heroes die. I'm sure most of them are coming back, but we lose fucking Black Panther.
We pretty much lose everybody except for the original Avengers.
Spider-Man,
Strange,
Doctor Strange,
Groot,
Vision, Groot,
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord
Drax.
died?
Yeah, they all vanished.
Yeah.
It's
Drax,
pretty much the original Avengers. And Rocket.
No, Rocket's alive.
Yeah, that's it. It's the original Avengers and Rocket that are still left.
Yeah.
And then some of Black
Scarlet
Panther's
Witch
people.
Live?
Nope, she vanished.
Okay.
Which they got rid of her accent. Thank God. It doesn't bother me. I thought her accent was horrible, and in this movie, it's gone. So, that's a continuity error I will take.
Yeah, we just got like Black Widow, Cap, fucking Bucky disappeared, and War Machine's still there. Yeah. Fucking Falcon disappears. Man, lots of people get it. It's friggin' awesome.
So when I went into this movie, I thought it was going to end like that, and then it was going to go to black.
Oh, that would have been so great.
But I'm glad they went the extra mile because you got a little bit more of the emotion.
I liked the final scene, like when Thor is fighting Thanos, and he deals that huge blow, and I thought that was just so great. The interaction between them, like at that moment, Chris Hemsworth really brings a lot to that. And and there's a few moments also where he has to he's grieving, and he just realizes that he is like all alone, and it's really sad. And then he pulls that off, and I just really fucking dig this movie. Yeah,
when they're all comparing at the beginning, their emotional issues.
Stories. Yeah. Or no, it's not even that though. It's not even comparing. It's just like Thor shows up with the Guardians, and immediately everyone's like, oh man, he's so handsome, and he's a god, a Norse god. So it's like
Star-Lord's
jealous. He's just straight jealous. Like his girlfriend is checking out this other dude, and so when Thor's like, well, everyone I know just died, so that was that was cool. Gamora's like, yeah, everyone I know died too.
Who's the Avengers? Earth's Mightiest Heroes? Is Kevin Bacon part of the team? He might be. I haven't been there in a while. Is Footloose the greatest movie still on Earth? It never was. There's some. Oh man, this movie's good. I can't wait to see it again.
I'm excited too.
Another thing they did really nice. Stay for the post-credit scene because this movie ends.
There's only one
tragically, but the post-credit scene kind of
makes it worse.
Is important, and I think it makes it better because it gives you that hope.
Hope of what? Okay. So
because that's how Captain Marvel is going to end. Is her receiving that message.
All right, it's not hopeful though. It's like everyone's still dead. What are you gonna do?
I guess you're kind of hoping that Captain Marvel didn't vanish too.
Apparently, because that's the thing. He sends a message like, "What if she's fucking gone?" Like he doesn't know. Well, obviously the movie hasn't even come out yet, so she's not dead yet. But actually, that's a prequel movie though, right? That's set in the 90s. So who knows?
Ant-Man and the Wasp is a prequel.
Is it prequel? I thought it ran alongside.
I think it runs. I think it starts before it and then runs into it. Probably would be my guess. I can't wait. I'm excited. I give this movie 3 geeks easily.
Oh, absolutely 3 geeks.
Go see it. I could give it more geeks if I could, but I
only
can't.
Have 2 friends.
That's right. It's a solid flick, solid Marvel flick. Probably their best movie, but I don't want to say that yet until I've seen it a few more times.
No. I don't feel like it's their best movie just because this movie does not stand alone.
No, you definitely got to have
in a vacuum.
The past of the movies into it. It's like a TV show, and we just got our season finale, and we're waiting for the next season.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it is, and
with a lot of money and a great cast.
I just super dig this movie. Freaking the one moment with I don't want to spoil everything for you guys. go watch this movie. There's a lot of just everybody interacting with everybody when they first meet is just always a good situation.
So like, comment, subscribe. Max and I do a podcast called Podcast-Alypse now. You can hook up on iTunes, rate, review that one as well. 3 Geeks Podcast live Sunday at 7 o'clock. Hopefully Philip's back.
Yeah.
Bye.
Recycle your droids.